What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock and help you guys better understand the price action of NIO. I'm also going to talk about where I see the share price headed for the next upcoming days and weeks, as we do have some very important things to discuss. I'm also going to talk about the overall stock market and what's going on with NIO, as we have their earnings report coming out in just a couple of days, and that makes me very excited and very bullish for this company. I'm also going to be talking about what's going on NIO's Twitter page, as we have some major updates coming out that make me very excited for the future of this company. But before I do that, before I talk about NIO's Twitter, before I talk about what's going on with the share price, I do have to mention a couple of very important things first. The first thing is I'm not a financial planner, so please do not take this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, but benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link down below and in the description. If you do sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100, you're not only going to qualify for up to 5 free stocks, each worth up to $3,500, but you're also going to get a free NIO share. So this is a limited time offer. It ends in just 9 days at the end of March. If you want that free NIO share and access to the Hong Kong exchange, which allows you to trade NIO on there, you have the big opportunity if you check out the offer down below. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So looking at NIO, as you guys can see, it's up over 7.45% for the day. Let's go, guys. And I told you guys in my previous video from yesterday, I saw this thing stopping at around $22 a share. I told you guys I see it going to 22, and that is exactly where we went to. Now, the question is, what are we going to do after this? Are we going to keep running? Are we going to drop? What do I see playing out? Now, right now, looking at the market, we are currently being driven a little bit by fear. I wouldn't necessarily say that. I would say we should be more on the greedy side. I think the market's really switching its dynamic. We're seeing this big rotation playing out, and things are looking a lot better. So for NIO going forward, this is actually a very good sign. I think the entire market is very green. However, guys, I do think that in the next upcoming days, the market is set for a bit of a pullback. Now, NIO is kind of separate from the market right now. It may follow it for the next day or two, but then we have earnings, and earnings is going to affect how this thing moves. So let's talk about this real quick, though. Let me go to the SPY and check this out. This is very important. Looking at the S&P 500, I'm going to zoom into it just a little bit, and you guys can see we have this gap right over here. Wait, I'm sorry. Let me fix that for you. But you guys can see that there's a big gap, right? This big gap that formed from the time we opened. If I zoom into it, you guys can see it more clearly. Here we go. It's like right over here, this massive gap that will take us down to 444. So the S&P may retrace in the next upcoming days. I'm not sure if it's going to be tomorrow, probably on Thursday or Friday. So I want you guys to be prepared for that. That may cause the entire market to take a bit of a hit. Now, NIO, although it could drop during that time frame, this could actually lead to something else. Now, looking at the 1 minute candles, you guys could see we have that gap that formed right over here. NIO has a gap right here that may bring us down to like the 20, I would say the 20 to 25 $25 range, somewhere around there. So the $20 range. So we may end up retracing just a little bit in the next upcoming days. I'm not sure if it's going to happen tomorrow. It may end up happening tomorrow, but we do have earnings, so that may actually cause us to have a big reversal too. Now, another big thing, and I think a lot of people have been talking about this, is the gap that NIO has way down here, right? So we have one gap on the upside that could take us all the way up to 27. We also have a gap down to 15. Now, right now the market looks pretty bullish. It's very unlikely we're going to drop down that low unless we do end up dumping after earnings, and that is very possible. So I want to put it out there that if we do dump really hard, it is possible that we might just fill this gap and have a big reversal, but I find it unlikely we're going to drop that hard because gaps don't always have to be filled perfectly. Now, what could happen in the market is in a month or two from now, we could see NIO drop back down one last time before having that big run up. It's also very possible, but I also see that very, unlikely. I see that as a very unlikely possibility, considering the fact that the market looks like it's about to reverse. It does not look like we were going to crash right back down. And it seems like we've been shorted for so long and we're about to see this big switch in the market. So when you see gaps like this, they don't always have to be filled. typically they do have to be filled. Like 90% of the time or higher, maybe 95% or higher, they're going to be filled. But there are some rare, situations where they don't get filled because something's going to keep running. So the question is, what could really cause us to drop and even fill this if we did do that? And the answer would be, if earnings does cause a big dip, that is probably something that could cause it. Now, that's not guaranteed though, because right now, if we look at earnings, I think some websites are saying March 23rd, other ones are saying, I believe, the 24th, but they're saying that there is no confirmed date. So around the 23rd to 24th, depending on where you are in the world, whether you're in China or in the US, because they all obviously have a different time. For sure, by the 24th, we're going to have earnings for NIO. So when the earnings comes out, right? And let me just reload the page to see what the Nasdaq says, but I'm not getting the confirmed date, right? It's kind of going both ways. But when the confirmed date comes, this is going to be very, very big for NIO. So right now, this is saying the 24th. This is saying it's the 23rd, maybe the 23rd for China. I'm not 100% sure. But anyways, when it comes, the EPS forecast is a negative 0.14, right? And then the EPS should be a negative 1. The earnings per share should be negative 1.05. Not bad. Do I think NIO could break those? I think it's possible for NIO to beat them, because if you look at NIO's data from the past, this is from 2020. This is, and by the way, this is actually the earnings for Q4, right, of 2021. Typically around October, November, and December, we see a big spike in their sales, right? So the question is, are they going to keep up with the previous expectations and demand? Even though we know they're most likely going to see a big increase, the question is, are they going to keep up with the numbers? And based off data I have, I think that they could come, it's very close. They may be off by just a little bit because of supply chain issues that may have caused, their prices to go a little bit higher and decrease their revenue. There's also inflation, right? Inflationary data may make it a little bit tough. So it might be a bit of a miss. I don't know that for sure. It could be a slight miss. And if that does happen, it could cause a bit of a dip in the share price. I don't think it's going to be that bad to the point where it drops us really far down. But a lot of people also know that this thing has insane squeeze potential, because many big analysts are saying that it's a very good buy rating. So from where I see NIO moving, I think either tomorrow or the day after, we're going to have a bit of a red day. We're probably going to run up. We do have to fill this gap way down here. It's about $20 and 32 cents. So we may end up filling the gap first and then continuing to run up. We may have a slight red day. Earnings will come. And depending on what is announced, we're either going to get a big move to the upside. We might even soar really hard to the upside and maybe even fill the gap that's way up here. I'm going to show you the gap up here. And if that doesn't work out, if we don't go as high as 27, if that were to push us that hard, we could end up dropping. And the question is, are we going to fill this gap? I don't truly know that. We may not do that because it looks very significant. I don't see us dropping that low. I mean, if we did, then so be it, because even if we did drop that low, I see us bouncing right off that and continuing with a very bullish move, because NIO has good potential. A lot of bulls are stepping in. There's a big shift in its, the rotation of these big bullish stocks. Retail is coming in, and also shorts, they're getting ready to start covering their positions. So I see a lot of bullish catalysts. Even if we do drop one last time, that's okay. That's another very good buying opportunity. But I do see that very unlikely, as a very, very unlikely scenario for us to drop that low after earnings, if that does end up happening. But I just wanted to put it out there and just inform you guys about this, because for tomorrow, I don't see us dropping too hard. I do think that we have this gap right here. We may end up filling it. The gap is right over here at around $20.34, or it may take 2 days. But like I said, we could see some bearish price action, but don't be worried. Don't be scared. This thing is going to run to the moon if you give it time. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is what NIO put on their Twitter page. NIO has secured the top rank in a study that ranks the car quality in China. And they actually said that NIO has the top quality cars. They put NIO as number one above XPeng, BYD, Tesla, and many other competitors. That is a very, very good sign, in my opinion. Lots of people are excited, and I can't wait for what the future holds. Now, anyways, I want to thank each and every one of you for listening. I am very, very excited for the future of this company, and we may see some red here and there that could bring us down to 20, or it may even push us really low, right? It's still a possibility. It's very unlikely, but it is possible for us to go right down here, fill this gap. If that happens, don't worry. Don't panic. It's going to be okay because we're going to bounce right off that and continue to run really, really hard and just, fly to the moon because there's so many bullish catalysts. NIO is improving. They're growing to all sorts of different countries. They're going to be entering Germany this year. They're going to be expanding to 25 different countries in the next 5 years or within 5 years. I mean, it's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And on top of that, remember, it's a very, very good play for a short squeeze potential, in my opinion. This has insane bullish momentum and potential. So I want to thank you for listening. Do not lose faith and do not let some red scare you. This is only the beginning, and this company has insane, insane, insane potential. So thank you. I'll see you guys in the next one. NIO to the moon, and peace out.